Hey guys, welcome back. So as you can see from the thumbnail, we are in a different direction today. I was approached by a friend who does a lot for our community, and every Christmas they have an event, and they had it this time, and she asked me if I would be willing to donate a piece for an auction that they're putting out. So I said, okay, you got to help me out here. So she said spring. Make something very springy. So guess what? We are going to make something extremely springy. So look at what we got here. These are all Czech beads because I love Czech. So we got this beautiful lemon yellow, and these are like offset lentils. We have some orange, just like a sunset flower. Aren't those gorgeous? They're so pretty. I don't know if you can see them. I think I fixed my phone, so I should be able to focus. I pulled out some pink. I don't know if I can open up the bag, however. I don't think I need a whole lot of those, but these are just some bellflower beads, some minis. So I thought while I was making it, I'd bring you along on the journey. I'm not a really good wire wrapper. And there's some more pinks. We're just going to split them up here. Try different ones. But I thought I'd take you on the journey, and hopefully we can do it some justice. Okay, so we got all these bright colors, and I thought, you know what? Now to pop all those colors, how about some green leaves? So we're going to pull out, I think I'm only going to need about 6 of them, because we're going to split up the leaves with another kind of leaf. Some of those are already wrapped, but I think those are silver plate. This is going to be sterling silver. It's going to be for an auction. I want it, you know what I mean? I kind of want it nice. Okay, so here we go. So we'll probably pause while I do some of this work, since you don't need to watch every bit of the process. So we've got the yellow flowers. And so since those are bigger, I just got silver wire in. If you guys ever need a really good source for sterling silver wire, I use Rio Grande, or Grande, I'm not sure how they pronounce it. I used to go Fire Mountain, but I found that Rio Grande is a lot cheaper. And so I basically ordered from them this time and got quite a bit. I think I got like 30, maybe 30 feet for 15-20 bucks, so it wasn't too bad. Okay, and I don't wrap like everybody else does. I don't put my wires in there and turn it upside down the way they teach you, but I do it to where it's easy with my hands. So any way you can make a loop is basically good enough, honestly. And this is the other thing why I hate wire wrapping, is it just takes so many different pliers. And I'm always the one that grabs the wrong one. So I made this little loop a little bigger than the other ones, because this is going to be the end piece. And with the 24 gauge, you can pretty much do it with your hands. So I'm going to make one, and then I will probably pause this. The only thing I'm doing right now is I'm just pushing this up. I usually clean it up after the bead is on. It's just easier for me. Fingers can't hold on to anything. So again, this one's a little bit easier to do. I just do it at a 90-degree angle. But they do that and they twist it. I just wrap it around. I don't know if there's much of a difference or not doing it that way. And I'm going to go just like 2.5 loops. And if my hands get shaky, that's because whenever I do this, or fine work or something, yeah, they get a little shaky. Okay, so now I'm just going to grab this and come in here and just bend this in. I probably should go grab some bent nose pliers. Those work a little easier than this. I do have some really thin needle nose coming in. I just haven't gotten it yet. I was hoping I'd get it before I started this, but considering tomorrow is the last day of November, and I think the party is like, the event is something on like the 10th or the 11th. It's like right in the second week I needed to get this done. Alright, so that's it, just for one wire. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap all the yellows, and then I can show you how to wrap the greens, because those are a little different. The bellflower, I'm going to need head pins, and same as these, I'm going to need head pins. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, so we are back with all the tough stuff. So now it's the easy stuff. These are all head pins. So we're going to go ahead and start wrapping these. And I want the top of the flower, where it comes out the point, I want that to be the top. So I don't know how many of these are going to need. I think maybe 12 would be good enough to start. So I'm curious on all of you that do make jewelry. Do you make your beads match your focal, or your focal to match your beads? So I posed this question before to a couple of friends, because I always want to know, how do you start? I think that's my biggest issue, is I don't know where to start. And then I get frustrated and I just put everything away. And well, you can't make jewelry if you get frustrated like that. So I'm curious on how you guys do it. Now, if I've got a piece of agate or jasper or something like that, you know, I can always find the little beads to add to it. I think it's harder if you got a bunch of small beads and then you come up with the focal, unless you use like a metal component. I don't think I'm going to need all these, so let's do... I'm going to do 12. Put those aside, that way when I look at it, it doesn't look so daunting. I think that's where I come up short in my designs. Not only just color combos, but what do you start with first? Because I don't buy focals very often. Like if I go to Michael's or something and I see a really cool gemstone strand, you know, then I buy it. But then I don't want just a plain gemstone strand. I want to make a focal to go with it. And obviously, to me, that's hard. Is finding that perfect element to go in the center of your necklace. So what motivates you, and how do you start your designs? Would be a pretty cool question for you guys to answer. Yeah, see, my hands are crap, sorry. As far as tools, everybody's got a different set of tools. I've noticed that as well. And it's funny because I've got some really expensive ones. I think they're Lindstrom. You know, they were good $50, $60 for one. I mean, they definitely weren't cheap. And no offense, they broke as easy as some of the cheap ones. So I'm using a variety. This is I think these are all beadsmith. Well, no, some of them are beadsmith. I'll show you which ones. So this is a beadsmith sparkle. Somebody recommended them. They're okay, but I like when they're springy. So this doesn't have that much spring, and so a lot of times you got to play around with it. This that I'm holding this one with is Wubbers, and I have to admit I do like the Wubbers, but if you saw how hard that was to grip, it's because they bend. See how they're like kind of bending out and stuff? So that's not something that's good. And so I saw another brand that somebody was using, and it was also Beadsmith, which are these right here, and these are casual comforts. So if you ask me which one I like, the casual comforts, look at a little spring action there. I love that, but they're big. They'll fit in your hand really good, but sometimes they kind of feel a little bulky. And so I drop them a lot because I don't have really good grip. And the round nose of them is a lot bigger. I don't think I have that out here, but it ends about right here. And so I'm not getting the really small ones. And I want my rings to be really small. So another thing I noticed is a lot of wrapping that I do, I'm using like silver plate for a lot of stuff. Mostly polymer. I don't know why, but I don't mix sterling with polymer. And I think that would give it a little bit more, it'll garnish a little bit more price range wise. But I just don't see polymer clay with sterling, and I don't know why. I don't look at it as like a glass bead or something like that. And I could be wrong. I'm not trying to say that they're cheap, but they just feel a little cheaper to where I don't want to use sterling with a lot of it. You know, to me it's like casual stuff. Okay, so this hole, you see why I'm struggling here is because this hole is really, darn it. Try a different one. The hole on some of these beads are a little bigger than the head pin, and I'm afraid it's going to come right through. Yeah, see, I just feel like you can pull it right through. You can. So, maybe it's the head pin, because I didn't have that problem on any of the other ones. So, some of them are a little smaller than the hole. But I think what I was saying before was I was using 26 gauge plated wire to do my wraps. But I don't know if you've noticed that plated wire can get very, very brittle. You know, and I really don't need to use a tool. These are 26 gauge, so it's really thin. But anyways, the reason I'm using 26 gauge is I don't want the focus to be on the wire. If I use 24 gauge, it's a lot thicker, and so you see it more. And I really don't want to see it. But again, when you use the copper based wire, which is the silver plate, it's usually over brass or copper, it gets really brittle. And so when I'm doing this and I'm making my wraps, I'll notice that it will break literally in half. I don't know if it's because of the time I've had it, if they get old and brittle. I didn't know wire would do that, regardless whether it's sterling or anything else. But it did. So that's why I try and use sterling on my wire. And this is 26 gauge dead soft. You could probably use half hard. And so far, I haven't had any of them break on me. So that's a good sign. And I mean, wrapping these, it's really easy, as you can see. I would like to try some fancy wire wrapping, like take a focal, you know, and doing your wrapping around the front and the back. I don't know if I have the patience to do that. But I've seen a lot of it, and it's just beautiful what people do with it. That would be the top. I'm gonna make sure I'm going through the top of all these flowers. So far, so good. The only ones that I don't want to do are the leaves, because the leaves have to be wired differently, and that's where I struggle, is the kind of wire wrap they need, and I'll show you. I don't know, maybe you guys have an easier way that you can show me. The bent nose makes all the difference in getting that wire nice and tucked in. Okay, so 3 more on that. I am working on rollers today. They have done really good over the weekend, and I'm sold out of most of them. So I'm trying to replenish, but I have a couple new designs that I want to put up as well. I'll have to show you those later on this week, maybe when I do a clay tutorial. I do need to get on the torch. I had a polymer clay girl ask about a certain one that I make. They were a little bigger than what she wanted, so I'm going to try and recreate them in a smaller. So I was kind of excited hearing from her. She goes by the name of Clue, and she's a great artist. She doesn't live too far from me. Her and Christy Friesen lived really close, well, within an hour of me, just up the hill. And that was way before I did clay. And then, of course, Christy moved, so I never got a chance to meet her or take a class with her while she was out here. And I had an order from a girl yesterday who just lives a mile away. So now I've met 2, 3, I think 3 or 4 local polymer clay artists. So, do any of you belong to a guild? Because I don't know what you do in them. I've never been. We had one not too far, again, before I started. And it is now no longer existing. And I was thinking of starting one in my area. So if you guys know anything about guilds, are they fun? Are they worth it? Or should you just get together with all your girls and make whatever you want? Oh, I have one more. But I'm thinking of doing that just so that I have, I don't know, an outlet where I can meet with other artists and stuff. And then we can just talk and have fun and brainstorm and, you know, just get out of the house a little more. Besides work and taking the dogs for a walk or whatever. I think it'd be fun just to get together with a bunch of people and create for a day. 'Cause I think sometimes you need that. know, if you're at a standstill, all you got to do is look at somebody else and talk to somebody, and they'll come up with something that you never even thought of. So that's what I'm looking for. Alright, so now we're going to do the bell flowers, and I've only got 6 of each of these. Almost dropped that one. And on the head pin, you're going to want the head part obviously on the bottom where it's not seen. And these, I'm going to make these kind of long. And some short, just so that I've got different heights of these. So that was about 5 wraps. So I think between 3 and 5 wraps would be perfect. Okay, so let me make sure I've got the right ones here. I just hope I have enough sterling head pins. I might have to order some. I don't know if you guys order from Fire Mountain. This is just a FYI. I do have an account with them to where I get the lowest price even if I order one item. So a lot of times, if you can find me on Facebook under Creative Dork, or even Irene Lucas, which is my maiden name, I'll throw up posts letting everybody know that I'm going to do a Fire Mountain bulk buy. And basically we all just get together and order, and that way we're only paying 1 shipping. And it's what, $6.99 to ship, so it's pretty cheap when you split it up with everybody. Obviously it's like 50 cents. Actually, we don't usually charge for shipping, so let's just say free shipping. Because if it's $6 and I'm ordering stuff, then I usually just worry about it. I just order it, because I'm going to pay that amount anyways. But if I get a lot of people in on this, then the discount lasts, because you have to have a certain amount that you pay a year. So just a little information there if anybody wants anything. I will be putting in an order probably within the next week, so I can get more sterling silver head pins. Although, now that I bought this wire from Rio Grande, I'm going to check their head pins and see if they're cheaper. Because if they sell them and they're cheaper, I'm going to get them from there. But I just can't believe how expensive sterling is, or gold. Almost $1,900 an ounce on gold. And my daughter the other day was saying, I've been watching a lot of people and they're wearing a lot of gold. And I said, yeah. I go, I hate gold plate. It's too yellow. She goes, no, this is all real gold. And I basically told her, I go, you wouldn't know how much I would have to charge for my jewelry if I used 14 karat. You know, it's just that expensive. And yeah, sorry for my dogs. I'm going to hit pause and find out why they're barking. Okay, so the dogs are quiet as of now. So while they were barking, I went ahead and wrapped as many as I could, because I didn't want you guys to have to watch me wrap all of that. It's looking pretty. It's looking like a very pretty spring garden. So these were all done with head pins, as you saw me do. But these, this is where I struggle. Okay, this is like the Bracelet ones. I'm going to try and show you a little bit closer. And these are probably the hardest for me. So basically you just take your wire and you put it through the very top. Okay, and then you're going to squeeze it up here on top. And you're going to cross the wires. You could bend the taller one in like a 90-degree angle. Okay, then you got to hold these 2 wires See, and for some reason, I feel like I'm doing it the right-handed way and I'm left-handed, because I'm always backwards when I do this. And I just look really awkward when I finish it. So basically, you're taking that short wire and you're just wrapping it. I go 2 times. And I'm going to cut it without cutting your main wire, obviously. Which I have not done today, so I'm happy. Okay, and then you're going to hold that again, just so that you can tuck this in. And it's really hard doing this while I'm on camera, because usually I've got my face right in there. And of course, as soon as I turn on the camera, they gotta bark. And unfortunately, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about it. Okay. And then you're going to come in off the top. And this is taking it off the long wire. Makita! Yeah, I don't want to yell into the camera, so I'm just going to leave them alone. Hopefully they'll stop. Okay, and now you're just going to wrap 2 or 3 times. These aren't the most beautiful. And the issue is not mainly my wire wrapping skills, but the fact that I'm using 26 dead soft wire. It gets a little bit hard to manipulate. While if you use a thicker wire, you'll be able to hold on it a little better. And you'll also be able to shape it better. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of all these little pieces here. And I'm going to go grab a toggle clasp to put on the end of this. And we'll put it together. So I'll be right back one more time. Alrighty, we got them quiet for now. Hopefully they stay that way. So I'm not sure how big of a clasp I want, but I do want a thick one. So just to get this over, I am going to use one of these. It's a little big, but I will change it. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Yeah, this is like 18 gauge. This is 20 gauge, but it's just a little bigger than I want it to be. Alrighty, and now we're going to start. Those were extra. I don't know why I put those in there. I had one that had a little bit of a bigger end on it. Wasn't that one? I think it was this one right here. Okay, so we're going to put the end on that one. Okay, and now the fun part begins. So we're going to take the head pin or the jump ring and we're going to open it. And then I'm going to add an orange flower. We're going to do one of these green leaves. And then we're going to do the pink with the pink. And that one came off. Okay, we're going to do this pink. Okay, and then we're going to add another one of those on. And on this one, we're going to add the other pink, which is this one, right? No, we're going to add an orange flower on this side. And we're going to add one of these leaves. Wait, which one do I got on there? I'm going to confuse myself, aren't I? And we're going to do the other pink flower. Okay. So there's one. So that way we should have a green leaf on both sides, a flower on both sides, and just vice versa. I'm not going to be really picky and make sure that I alternate them. I'm just going to put it in the best that I can. So again, we'll do an orange leaf, or orange flower. And we'll add that green leaf. And that. And then we're going to add that one. And then we're going to do the orange leaf. Hopefully I'm in camera and not in your face. It looks like I'm in your face. Sorry. I'm going to do this green leaf. And this flower. Yeah, so we can get kind of full here. Okay. But it's definitely spring-like. So again, we're going to do, oops, you're not supposed to fall off like that. Okay. So I'm going to do the orange, the green, and sure, we'll do that pink. I'm going to add that onto there. Do another orange flower. This green. And I think it was this one. Okay. Oh, there's a wire I'm going to need to cut down. That one's sticking out a little bit. Oh, I need that one. Ooh, without knocking all those off. Okay, let me go put you back down a little bit because I feel, oh, and happen. Okay. Okay, hopefully that's a little better. Sorry about that. A couple more of these and we will be done. So I'm going to do an orange flower. And I'm going to start with this one. So let me make sure I've got enough. I've got one of those, one of those, one of those, and one of those. So we're going to do the flower, the leaf, and that one. And then the, oops, nope. Then we need the flower. Green leaf. And this pink. Now I should have one of each. And that way I know we got it right. I did forget a leaf on this, didn't I? No, I didn't. Okay. So now we are on our last one. So, do a yellow, a flower. I'm going to do this leaf first. And this. And then the flower, or the rest of it. And the flower. The leaf. And that. And I can see a couple pieces of wire sticking out, so now I can go back after it's all done and fix that. So why do I have a feeling that I put the other clasp on one of these and now I don't know what I did with it? There it is. Alrighty, so we are done. Just gotta throw our clasp on and I'll try it on. Okay, and I'm going to have to work harden this a little bit because it's really, really soft. There we go. Alrighty guys, so this is our spring bracelet. It can't get any more spring than that. So I hope they like that. I hope you guys liked it. I'm definitely going to change the jump rings on them. If I have to make 2 of them that are smaller, then I will. And again, sorry. It takes me a while to put on bracelets. So I'm going to turn it this way. I just don't have the fingers to do this. So we got our nice little flower and leaf clasp. And there you go. So, I hope you guys liked that. That was really fun. It didn't really take that long to do. So wire wrapping is the longest. But seriously, you can just take all these beads and watch TV, you know, or something while you're working on them. And just gather a whole bunch together. And then you just put it all together. So, I'm going to make another one of these and maybe put it in my Etsy store. Because that was just way too much fun. So, hope you like that, and we will talk to you guys later. Bye.